What's up, guys, and welcome back. In this video, I'm just going to recap everything that we got on The Last of Us Day 2024. So let's start with the juicy stuff and get on with this trailer.
Oh, you want to start or what?
Joel's not starting. Jackson, let's go. Is that where Buckley's at? I think Buckley's supposed to be in front of that building. That's hard to watch. That's hard to watch right there. Just, I don't know about you guys, everyone that's played The Last of Us Part 2 that's also a fan of the show. Going and exploring Joel's house after everything that happens is, first and foremost, it's very fun, right? It's cool to see how, Joel lived and the way he decorated his house and all the hobbies that he's gotten into. Hobbies that he's probably had his whole life, but at the same time, things that he's gotten into as he's kind of settled down a little bit in the 4 or 5 years that's passed between part 1 and part 2. It's also incredibly sad.
Let's try something different. You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud.
Fresh looking blood on that sign. Oh, take on me. Love this scene.
Say the thing you're afraid to say.
What'd you give up for them beans, Joel?
Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad.
Jesse's hitting the Jackson town, or Jackson gym.
What did
Stalker.
You do?
Stalkers will be interesting. If we can go back to the Stalker. Stalker's going to be really interesting here. They didn't really highlight Stalkers unless I'm completely missing that from the first season, which isn't surprising because they don't highlight Stalkers in The Last of Us Part 1. There's 2 scenarios in The Last of Us Part 1 where you actually come across Stalkers. It's the Boiler Room Bloater sequence in Pittsburgh. There's 4 Stalkers there. You can fight them when you're fighting the Bloater if you grab the access card real quick. They come out before you start the generator. And then again, whenever Joel splits off with Sam in the sewers, Henry goes off with Ellie, Joel and Sam go through a room that's absolutely littered with stalkers. And that's it. There's 2 parts in part 1 that have stalkers, and then they really put like a focused concentration on stalkers and the way that they attack, right? They ambush. They do a really good job with that in part 2.
What did you do?
And there she is. We saw her before. I think the only time we saw Abby before, and Caitlin Dever as Abby, we saw her, with the fence sequence. And they show it again here in this trailer. But we get to see her there. They see her again here. I would imagine outside of her dad's gravesite there, Dr. Jerry Anderson. Excited to see what we're going to get from Abby just outside of the Jackson stuff in this season. There it is. The Horde. Iconic. Yes. Is that Tommy and Joel and someone else? Scars. I'm shocked that we're getting Scars in a 7-episode second season, that we're going to advance so far into the Seattle plot to where we're going to get the Seraphites. It's amazing. I mean, they're not going to be screwing around at all this season if we're getting that far. I want to stop it right there because, again, I made a video about it before. I gush over Jeffrey Wright. I think he's a phenomenal actor. He's an HBO alumni. If you've ever seen before Boardwalk Empire or Westworld, he's great. A bunch of other stuff. He's reprising his role, an exact reprising of the role there. Very much like Merle Dandridge that plays Marlene. Jeffrey Wright voices Isaac in The Last of Us Part 2. The thing is about Isaac in The Last of Us Part 2 is there's not a ton of him. It's really when Manny and Abby get to the fob in day 1 and they talk about Danny, Owen, and their plans going forward. And then we see him again in Abby's day 3 on the island. Now, when you cast someone like Jeffrey Wright into your television show, okay, I don't care if he played the video game version or not, you want to give the man some more snaps. You want to give him some more playing time, rightfully so. They said not long ago, I think it was Druckmann said like within the past week, that there's going to be some elaborations on stuff that happens in the game that we're going to get in the show. We saw some of that in the first season, and I have no ifs, ands, or buts about it that one of those sequences is going to be with Jeffrey Wright playing as Isaac. There was already a leaked photo from the set there that shows him in garb that very much looks like a Fedra uniform. Okay. And if you remember the downtown Seattle part as Ellie, whenever she's on horseback with Dina going through all those various points of interest to get the gasoline, yada, yada, yada. We see a younger version of Isaac. We see his face plastered on all of these wanted posters alongside the Pattersons. It's a guy and girl. Would imagine some husband and wife. Maybe it's brother and sister. I don't know. But they were definitely enemy number one there for Fedra. So seeing him on this leaked photo, I don't know, and this isn't it, obviously, but if you look it up, he's in like a full like navy blue, like, you know, military uniform looking costume. And again, I would imagine that he's either going to be like a Fedra soldier that defects, or maybe this is like the town, you know, wherever he's got something on as a disguise to infiltrate. So again, we're going to get some good backstory there. We're going to get some stuff that we didn't get in the game. I feel very confident about that. And I actually think it would be a very good idea. And I say that because, again, Jeffrey Wright's a very strong actor. And I think it would be really cool if we got some more insight on how Seattle shifted in power, right? We get a little bit, we see the very end of it in Kansas City in the first season of The Last of Us. Would be very neat to see how Fedra fell in Seattle. It kind of gives you an origin story there for one of the big factions in Seattle, which is obviously the WLF. We're going to see the Seraphites. So I'm looking forward to that. Subway. I just see that red, the subway. That's going to be haunting. Oh, yeah. Very cool. 2025, and I don't think we're gonna have to wait too long into 2025 to get it. I believe it was Casey Bloys from HBO that said that for it to like be nominated for next year's 2025's Emmy season, at least the first episode or two episodes have to come out before, I think, sometime in May. So it's, I think, pretty safe to say that we're probably gonna get it there in a Q1 if we're talking business here. And, you know, again, sometime in May at the latest. So I really don't think we're going to have to wait that long. The big thing that I want to go back here. All right. So like this sequence right here. Another maybe like little pivot here, a little show addition. I think that we're going to see Jackson attacked. I think we're going to see, I mean, we could obviously look at Tommy right here with blood on his face. This could very much be after the showdown at the Chalet, which I believe is the correct pronunciation and name there for that very prestigious log cabin where shit goes down in the game. Going to go down there in the show. That's likely what that's from, but it certainly looks like Jackson's under attack from infected too. Could that guy with the binoculars certainly be in a watchtower up in the mountains by the ski lodge? Very possible, but I think based on what we saw there, it looks like they're running downhill. They're running against the walls. I do think that we're going to see the strength of Jackson get tested here. And again, I think that's a great idea for the show. You have to see them fight at some point. We don't see them fight in part one. Like they don't show what we see at Tommy's Dam whenever they transition over to Fall, where the hunters attack the dam. And then they venture out when Ellie runs away and they go to that little ranch there, and Joel and Tommy and Ellie, you know, they fight like 5 or 6 guys. We don't get any of that. So they have to show that Jackson, despite it being formidable, a fortress-like, you know, they will be tested, maybe not from humans right now, but a shit ton of infected, a horde, right? We remember how haunting that is whenever you go back over to Abby and you see all those infected that you have to just sprint through the frozen creek, up the hill, over the fence, on top of the cars. And then, of course, like that menacing scene where you're just like trying to like slide through the fence that's falling on top of you. So again, I do think that they're going to do something a little bit different there. I think that we're going to see the infected attack Jackson. Maybe that adds a little bit of weight to Tommy's decision to leave, to go to Seattle to avenge Joel. It's like, hey, we just got attacked here, right? Maria's going to take that stance. We just got attacked here. I know what happened to your brother, but we got to rebuild our walls. We got to fortify everything that we just lost. So I think that would be a really cool addition. Okay, so last part of this, we got the video. I wanted to start with the hot and juicy stuff. Obviously, the trailer is phenomenal. Again, the trailer was great. I mean, truly, yeah, all the trailers. The one that just came out a couple months ago was really good. Phenomenal trailer, showed us a lot. I'm good actually on seeing anything more. I don't know about you guys, but I don't need 20 trailers before a show comes out or like a game. Like, look at Dragon Age the Veilguard right now. I don't know if I need to see like the 1235th rendition of someone's gameplay of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Just, there does come a point where we need to just like chill out. Like, let's wait for it to drop. I don't want to see everything. You know, again, people go crazy with theories and freeze framing and all that stuff. So I'm good on if this was the last trailer. I thought it was great. I think it showed a lot. I'm happy with that additional Abby screen, or like 2 seconds there that we got. Cool to see a stalker. Looks like Jackson's getting stormed by the infected. So again, I'm good with another trailer. I thought that one was phenomenal. Let's take a look here on Naughty Dog's blog here from the other day with just what else we got. We do get The Last of Us Part 1 on PlayStation Plus. So if you go ahead here, and depending on what tier you've got, if you looked here, if you have extra in premium tiers, you'll be able to play The Last of Us Part 1 on PlayStation Plus. There's some Steam Deck assets here. I don't have a Steam Deck, so I'll be honest with you guys. I blow right through this. Yeah, again, if you have a Steam Deck and you want some cool art or whatever they're offering on the Steam Deck, great, good for you. Like I said, I'm not honest. I don't have a Steam Deck, so I blow right through this. More Steam Deck. This looks like the crime scene, like on like a Breaking Bad episode. So we're gonna keep going through that. Yeah, cool. Looks. Yeah. What is this? Growing the mold during Jason's tests. People are gonna buy this. Last of Us merchandise. We got The Last of Us U2s. I've seen this before. I'm not like familiar with U2s. Is this like some rendition, like some Funko Pop thing? Collectibles, in short. We got a clicker. We've got Joel. So if you're into U2s, check those out. I actually did have a really good Joel Funko Pop, and I sold it. Had an Ellie one too that I sold. Damn. Okay, I had to zoom this in here because I clicked it and it didn't enlarge the picture. This is, if we're talking about collectibles, if we're talking about stuff that's the next game of The Last of Us or a TV show trailer, the big thing I look for every year on The Last of Us Day is the limited edition print. They have a lot of good ones over the years. I'm thinking of the Abby forearm holding the hammer with the forest and the fire glowing in the background is a really good one. Ellie's, classic tattoo that seemingly everyone either has or does cosplay of or draws, holding the switchblade. That's another really good limited edition Last of Us Day print. I did have the one from 2018 where Joel's playing the guitar in the dark and there's a wolf circling him. Little did I know what that meant back then in 2018. If you take a look over my shoulder there, right there on the left, that is the one from last year. They do great prints. The other one too, I think it was 2 years ago, so it probably would have been Last of Us Day 2022. It's the one where they offered the Abby print and the Ellie print from The Last of Us Part 2, and they're both just bloodied and battered, and they look evil. Like both of them look like just absolutely these evil, heinous characters, but it's so good. It's so good. Whoever the artist is, shout out to you that did like the Abby, Ellie, and they're like back to back. Like if you put them together, like they mash up very well. Really good. So again, every year I always look forward to the limited edition print. This year we've got a stalker. I won't be buying that. It has nothing to do with the quality of it. It looks really good. I think it's pretty. I don't know if I'm getting away with hanging a picture up like that in my house. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm going to have to sit this one out this year. Again, cool picture, just not for me. But yeah, that's the one thing that I really enjoy looking for every year is the limited edition prints. So let's keep scrolling here. if you want your early like Halloween outfit, you could dress up and be a Seraphite. That shit looks like real legit until your cat decides to run its claws down it. What? Check out the Seraphite jacket replica. The Look for the Light t-shirt. A cassette tape ornament. And a giraffe plushie keychain. How about that? Ain't that some shit? It wouldn't be a Last of Us Day if we didn't have keychains and like book bag knickknacks. It seems like every year there's like book bag ornaments that I always just laugh at. And I thought for a second this year they didn't have it. I'm just like, well, everyone finally just filled out their book bags. I get it. Everyone in The Last of Us has a book bag. Ellie's got a book bag. Joel's got a book bag. Abby's got a book bag. Tess has a book bag. Bill's got a book bag. Jesse's got a book bag. Dina's got a book bag. Everyone's got book bags. I get it, right? And we got to put our bedazzlement and our flair on it, right? Just like Jennifer Aniston in Office Space. All right, we got to bedazzle the shit out of that book bag. Not for me, but that's cool, right? Everyone's got their own things there for Last of Us Day. I just don't know where you're wearing this at. I just don't know where you're wearing this. I really like. Okay, I'm moving on. What else do we got? Oh, here we go. Game cap. Last of Us Day photo mode spotlight results. Okay, cool. Photo mode results. Great. That's it. Is that it? That's it. Okay. That's it then. Look, if I'm going to give Last of Us Day 2024 a score, I'd give it a 6. Look, the trailer, like I said, the trailer's great, and I loved it. It's a phenomenal trailer. I think it shows a lot. It shows a lot of good action sequences. We get an additional scene from Abby, but when it comes down to it, I don't know. Maybe I just don't get excited that much. Like I'll watch a trailer one time or twice, and okay, cool. It's gonna come out in what 6, 7, 8 months. The trailer saved it. Let's just be real. The trailer, and again, phenomenal trailer. It saved The Last of Us Day. Without the trailer, Last of Us Day 2024, no hyperbole. 3? And it's going to be different for everybody. I mean, again, if you love the collectibles, if you want to dress up like a Seraphite, whenever you're walking into your cubicle, that's cool. If you want to get that limited edition print, that's also cool. I'm not interested in that stuff. And again, it just doesn't do much for me. It doesn't wet the beak. So again, without the trailer, for me, it's a 3 or a 4. It's not that special. I think the trailer escalates it to a 6, where I would qualify that as, yeah, it's all right. It's good. It was solid. But whenever it comes down to it, we're close to the show coming out. It's not like we have to speculate about when the show is going to come out. We know that it's going to come out before summer 2025. So, I would have said going into it, like something from the show would have been, would have been great. It would have made me very happy. Would have made the fans very happy. Look, the reception of the trailer has been great. I haven't seen anyone say anything bad about it, which is pretty rare. Except maybe people, on a certain forum that just absolutely despise everything about this game because of something that happens and they just can't get over it. 4 years later. But again, it looks great. I'm ready for the show, but the show's coming. So that leads me to the last part here, before we hang this one up. And it's what could have made The Last of Us Day 2024 better. Obviously, the Last of Us community now has a bunch of new fans here that are solely fans that have been brought in by the TV show, and that's great, right? We should embrace them. We should be happy that there are people that love this franchise as much as we do. I'm pumped to see people that I know in my life that have never played the game and will never play the game watch the TV show, and we actually have something in common to talk about The Last of Us. So I think that's really cool. But again, if you really want to go and just, scratch the belly, I guess, of your loyal and dedicated video game fans, that's what we're looking for on The Last of Us Day. The merch is cool. The limited edition stuff is cool. The TV show trailer is cool. But what we really want at just our base level, we want something that's we're going to be able to play on screen with a controller in our hands, right? I'll get into The Last of Us Part 3 in a second. All right. I'm going to talk maybe more logically or realistically here. We could have got something, I think, from No Return, whether that would just be a couple new characters, maybe people from The Last of Us Part 1, maybe Bill, maybe Tess, maybe Henry, right? You name it. Like, you could certainly pull some people out of there from The Last of Us Part 1. I think would have been really neat to implement them into No Return. Could we have made maybe, I don't know, a couple new different bosses, right? Think about this, for example. Okay, hear me out on this. And check the card out in the top right. I made months ago this stupid video, not long after No Return came out, about the next 5 characters I would like to see introduced in No Return. This one I actually think would be really cool as a boss. How about David from The Last of Us Part 1, where it's maybe almost similar to the Stalker King, the theater room infestation, where you have to fight all these infected there, and then you have the King Stalker there that you have to take down. Think about David whenever you get 2 sticks in him in that boss fight. He essentially turns into a human stalker, right? Where you have to hunt him throughout Todd's restaurant there as the place is burning down on top of you. Your heart's pounding out of your chest. Your hands are clamming up. How cool would that be to fight him in a boss fight in No Return, where maybe he has some additional perks. He has a bunch of infected guarding him. Maybe he's starting to mutate himself and turn into an infected after Ellie bit him. I don't know. Have fun with it, right? They could have done something like that, and I think that would have been cool. Again, I'm kind of talking out of my ass here a little bit. But basically what I'm saying is that something No Return related would have been cool. Maybe a new map or 2, maybe a new challenge. I don't know. Something involving No Return. New characters, you name it. That would have been very much appreciated. And I certainly understand that I have nothing to do with creating a video game. I mean, I get it. Like, I'm like I said, talking out of my ass here. Pipe dream type of stuff. Again, if you're asking me what I would have liked to have seen, sure, why not? I'll throw it out there. Some No Return additions there would have been really cool. But at the same time, am I shocked that we didn't get that? No, I'm not. Okay, so now for the Big Daddy. The thing that I think everyone's thinking of in the back of their brain, the thing that everyone's wishing for, but at the same time, no one's actually expecting this to happen. And it's any talk regarding The Last of Us Part 3. If you go back and you take a look at the making of The Last of Us Part 2, you go and check it out. You can check it out on your dashboard there. If you have The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, you can go to PlayStation. I think it's PlayStation or Naughty Dog. I think it's actually Naughty Dog's YouTube channel. It's there. It's a couple hours long. It's really good. It takes you through the whole process of making The Last of Us Part 2. It's kind of hard to watch at times. And I don't mean that in like a bad way, like it's bad. Like, I mean that it's difficult to like see the strife that the whole team goes through whenever all the leaks come out, and you see just all the stress and everything like that when it comes to getting these trailers ready for like Paris Games Week. But then at the end, Neil gives us a very soft confirmation that The Last of Us Part 3 is going to happen. Again, I've said this before a million times. I'll say it again. That man sadly gets a shit ton of hate online because of everything that happened in The Last of Us Part 2. Do I think that Neil Druckmann would soft confirm a Last of Us Part 3 if he did not actually think that that was going to come out with 100%? I do not think that he would do that. So I feel very, very confident it's going to happen. I felt confident it was going to happen before he said that. So we fast forward now to The Last of Us Day 2024. Could we have expected a hard confirmation for The Last of Us Part 3? I'm not saying a release date. That I think is a long ways off. Despite us being over 4 years since The Last of Us Part 2 came out, it just seems like they take forever. Everyone takes forever to make video games now. It's just as simple as that. Look at GTA 5, right? Look at The Elder Scrolls 6. Maybe don't look at The Elder Scrolls 6. Skyrim came out in 2011. That's insane. The whole process now of making a really in-depth single-player narrative game now, it just takes a long time. Right, we've come to expect that. So again, I'm not expecting a release date. I'm not expecting game footage. I'm not expecting anything like that. If you were to say that you were expecting that to me, I would say you're absolutely insane. Okay, you need to get a serious reality check. What I would have liked is maybe some sort of hard confirmation that, hey, I know, I'm saying it's we, like Neil, I discussed a concept for Part 3 with this big old grin on his face back at the end of that documentary. Which, again, a good, nice little confirmation there that they're going to make the game. It would have been nice to get a hard confirmation that, hey, we're working on this game right now. Okay. And again, maybe that's just a silly thing to ask for. It doesn't mean a lot. But it would get your fans hyped, and it would have got the community hyped, and would have given you something involving the game, right? The stuff that came out didn't involve the actual game with a controller in our hands. It's, again, collectibles, and it's a trailer for the TV show. So something involving the game, again, no return, or just even, again, like a hard confirmation. Hey, we are working on The Last of Us Part 3 right now. Who knows? Maybe they're not working on it right now. I'd be shocked though. I really don't think that's the case. They have to be working on it right now. So again, those are my pipe dream wish lists that would have really just elevated The Last of Us Day 2024 for me to, you know, an 8 or a 9. If we would have got something like that, I would have been super pumped if you would have combined all those things there into one package. The good old collectibles, TV show trailer, and then something involving the game. No return, or just a nice confirmation. Maybe even some concept art. I don't know. Something like that. I try to keep the expectations low and the demands low. Something like that would have really, it would have made me happy. And I think that the fan base would have went nuts for it. But again, trailer awesome. You know, otherwise though, it was pretty good. You know, again, it was pretty good. I'm not going to go crazy over it, but it was pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What did you think about The Last of Us Day 2024? What did you want to see? What did you think about the trailer? All the stuff that they announced on their blog. What are you guys going to take a look at? What are you guys going to buy? Let me know in the comments, and appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the next one. See ya.